Hello, friends. Oh, shit, my microphone. Here we go. Let me just turn this down just a little bit, because I did find... Okay, is the fan super, super loud? If so, I can turn it off. It's just super warm today. I'm in my gym jams working from home, but I wanted to talk about this stuff. Fan isn't bad. Okay. Can indeed hear the fan. Okay, hang on one second. Okay. We are back. Thank you for letting me know. No, it's okay. It's not too bad in this room, actually. So we're okay. The color is weird in this room, but that's okay. Okay, so to the surprise of no one, Snark is and just general Ethan H3 haters have decided to take what to me was a very human moment on yesterday's show and exploit it and exploit the discomfort of one of the crew members and turn it into something that it wasn't, right? Like use it as like a pawn. And I want to talk about it here because I'm hopeful that it won't be talked about today on the show. And also, a gigantic canker sore, so you might see it just as I'm talking. It's like swollen. Okay. So for context, if you're not a member, if you haven't been seeing what's going on, yesterday they did a girls episode and I was so excited for it because I'm a huge Love Island fan. And so they were basically breaking down the latest season of Love Island. And one of the most, maybe the most, no, not the most, but one of the more problematic people on the show this season was a person named Huda. Thank you so much. And Huda was a lot, right? She was very opinionated. She was very bold in her relationships. She was pretty controlling. And so a lot of people did not like Huda. Since Love Island ended, Huda has, gone on podcasts and talked about her own history of abuse, of violence at the hands of her father. So we've gotten a lot more backstory about Huda and what she has been through and how it has shaped her, right? So yesterday on the show, very early into the episode, they started talking about Huda, of course, because this is like one of the big stories of the season. And Olivia got upset. We're going to show clips. I have clips of everything. I have the clip from Love Island. I have what Huda has said. I have what Chris has said about the situation. I also have the conversation between Ethan and the rest of the crew, because Ethan was on the phone and everybody else was in studio. Now, what Snark and Ethan haters will make you think is that Ethan called in and was abusing Olivia and harassing her. The reality from where I could see it was that everybody was disagreeing with Ethan to some degree and pushing back on him. And Olivia had come in feeling very emotional about the situation, feeling very protective, I think, about Huda, and then felt terrible that she potentially was dismissing or diminishing someone's experience of harassment or assault, and felt bad and had a human moment on screen, was almost in tears, and then stepped out for the rest of the episode. I didn't really watch the rest of it because I was just so worried about Olivia. And I just kind of skipped through to see if she came back, and she didn't. So that made me really sad. But I did not. We'll show the whole thing, but that was essentially what happened. Chat attacking her is stupid. I did not see what they were saying in chat. Okay, so it was chat that was upsetting her potentially. Or making it worse. God, this freaking thing. I don't get cold sores, but I do get canker sores. And this one, I bit my lip yesterday, and it's gigantic. Yes, and so then AB jumped in, and then it was Lena, AB, and Hila that did the rest of the episode. Nate did a wonderful job switching away and giving her privacy. So everyone did a great job dealing with it. And like I said, well, first of all, we're going to do all the context. So if you are a snarker and you are allergic to context, now is the time to leave. We do not need you going into anaphylactic shock. Also, a genuine content warning. We're obviously going to touch on sexual harassment, SA, like these topics. So if these are very sensitive to you, decide whether or not you want to listen to this, right? I don't want to say don't listen to it, because sometimes, processing it with other people, talking about it is good for you, right? I don't think that we should avoid all conversations that make us feel things, because there's only one way out, and it's through. Okay, as context for myself, I'm a huge Love Island fan. My wife and I have watched, I think, every single episode of Love Island UK, Love Island Australia, and we've just started getting into more of the Love Island USA. I prefer UK because if I'm going to watch a bunch of straight people, like straight 20-year-olds getting in relationships and sucking face, they better have British accents. Do you know what I mean? And to that end, I thought this season was really boring in general. It was really weird. They reconfigured Casa Amor, and that kind of deflated the rest of the season. Like Casa happened too early. The way they did it was weird. They only brought in like a handful of people, right? And also everyone was single. They made everyone single. So there was it got rid of the tension and the intrigue about oh, I'm cheating, right? That is such a huge draw of the show. I'm not entirely sure why they decided to try this. Bants, yeah. I think the entire Love Island setup is sort of signing up for not having boundaries. To a degree, right? I mean, I think there are things you definitely agree to. So, how do I understand them? Oh, well, when you watch a million seasons, I also now know what a Manchester accent sounds like.
Stuff gave $1.99.
Thank you.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Peace and love. I'm like, oh, I know that's a Manchester accent. That's a Newcastle accent. That's a Welsh accent. I can tell. Oh, that's Essex. That's what's the other big one? Yorkshire. So you can hear. I get used to it, but I have a good ear for that stuff. So yeah. Okay. So let's get into it. So in addition to Casa Amor being weird this year, we also had multiple cast members getting kicked off for being racist, which is such a mess. And I don't understand how Love Island doesn't better vet these people before bringing them on in the year 2025. It's just crazy. And again, I saw someone saying in chat that Ethan yelled at Olivia about pronouns. That's not what happened. Ethan gets in fights with the entire crew. And I don't think Olivia is far too woke. I want all of us to come into this conversation with goodwill and giving everybody in the situation the benefit of the doubt, because hang on, wait a second. What if nobody is wrong? What if nobody is wrong, guys? Is that possible? What if nobody is wrong? What if no one has to be wrong in every single situation? Casey, I completely disagree with you. I think Olivia is great on the show and she brings to it. And we are not here. My mic is going banana. Like, is it too loud? Shit, what's with my mic? Hang on. Can you hear me? The Casey Trong hex is at it again. How do we sound? We Gucci? Okay, great. So as I was saying, what if nobody is wrong? What if nobody is wrong in this situation? What if everyone handled things? I can turn it up. What if everyone handled things the way that humans handle things, imperfectly, right? And even then, it wasn't even that imperfect. I stopped watching yesterday because I can't deal with reality TV, but Olivia said something about the contestants being brave, and it says so much about her unwavering optimism. I love that about her. Me too. It's a USB. The connection is USB. Olivia has been the best addition to the show. I love that. Okay. Nobody did anything wrong. I know, and I was so sad that Olivia left and didn't come back. I totally understand it. Honestly, if I were her, I'd be like, I just need to take a long weekend. You know, like I would take Friday, just chill, unplug, reconnect with my friends. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, if I have mods here, anyone who's talking shit on Olivia should be banned. At least for today. Maybe put in a timeout. Ethan sensationalizing with the essay label. And that's what they were really arguing about, right? Okay, so let's just get into it. Let's get into what really happened, okay? We're going to start with the clip from Love Island. Then we're going to see what Huda had to say. Then we're going to see what Chris had to say. And then we're going to have Ethan's call in and see where things kind of break down, okay? Now remember, we are coming into this with goodwill and benefit of the doubt, and we are kind and forgiving people who see the best in others, right? And remember, no one has to be wrong. No one has to be wrong, okay? All right, 1 second, y'all. Let me get into the web thad. Is this gonna work now? Okay, let me just pull it up. This is what happens when I do a surprise. Okay, here we go. So here is the famed Cuddle Me scene, which has been, shown all over the place. We see Huda and Chris in bed, and they have just had, according to Huda, they have had an incident during the day. I don't quite remember. and she's upset, and so she's trying to get some like physical attention from Chris, and Chris wants to sleep. So here we go. She's literally trying to wake him up, shaking him.
Maybe 3 seconds. I'm dead ass. 3, 2.
That's very strange to me. Like, that's something you do to a child. And she did this multiple times to him. There was another time when she like counted down, and he was like, "I'm not a child." Okay, so there's that. Still bothering him while he's sleeping. I want to get some sleep.
Oh my god, bro. This is so
If not cuddling me is worth me being upset tomorrow. So now she's using her. She's basically saying she's going to punish him the next day if he doesn't cuddle her. This is like peak toxic, anxious attachment, right? Like, she is desperate for reassurance from him, and she's like turning it into this weird threat. She doesn't just want or need to be cuddled. She's like making it into this bigger thing. Also, I will say, this is not the first time that she on the show tried to wake up a man or did wake up a man from his sleep. And I will say that is something that people do when they are abusive. When she did it to Taylor, when was it Alandria and Jeremiah or two people, her person and Taylor's person, left for like an early morning whatever, and she was pissed about it. So she literally went over and woke up Taylor in the middle of the night to be mad, like to have someone else to be mad with. How do I know this is an abusive thing? Because it was done to me in an abusive relationship. Like, waking people up out of their sleep is abusive. So we can say like, oh, this wasn't a big deal, but there are, I'm not saying that she was this horrible abuser, but there are elements of like a lack of boundaries that start to like violate someone's like personal agency, and waking them up when they're sleeping, when they're at their most vulnerable, is a huge red flag, in my opinion. That's the battle you're picking. Congratulations. So now this man is like half asleep to almost fully asleep, and she is holding him accountable and going to make his life a nightmare tomorrow. She's arguing with someone who's like mostly asleep. To me, that's crazy. You can see her nose is injured. I guess she had, we'll see some of it coming up. But, so that's the clip. And everyone agreed that she was in the wrong for that. It was the degree to which she was wrong that the H3 crew was sort of disagreeing on, right? Oh, let me pop out my chat because I can't see what y'all are saying very well. Pop out the motherfucking chat. There we go. Huda was a red flag the whole show. She was very toxic, and as a Love Island watcher, she brought the mood down. Yeah, I was really hoping that she would go home early. I will say that. But maybe it was important that she was there, because I do think that we underestimate, or maybe ignore altogether, the fact that women can be the abuser in a situation. And again, of course, there's a spectrum of abuse. There's degrees of abuse, right? The way that she talked to Jeremiah, the way that she treated him after knowing him for just like a couple days was like wild to me. And I'm sure that she she clearly has a lot of chaos and trauma in her past, right? Like that was also very, very clear. All right, so that was the Huda and Chris clip. Now, since the show aired, there's been a lot of discussion about what exactly happened in that moment. And so we're going to start with Huda because feminism, right? Wait. Because feminism. We're going to start with Huda's point of view on this. Okay? And this is a clip of her from Call Her Daddy, which is where she went to essentially spill all the tea. So here we go.
I think there was so many things that were showing me that this man did not like me in that way, or like was losing feelings in some way. And it's like, okay, it felt like the more I would talk about what I needed, the more he would pull back and like act like he was so nonchalant and be fuck. And
okay, right there. And let's remember, Huda is still very young, right? These people are babies. Right? On this show, like they are still growing up. They have a lot of learning and growing to do. And I am so glad that my early 20s were not on fucking television. I will say that, because we were all, you're a mess at this age, and you're still working through your own trauma, your own issues. She's got a lot to work on for sure. As a queer woman, I clocked her behavior from the start of the video we watched. Have had women cross that line before and not respect boundaries. 100%. Women can definitely be abusers. And I will say, I have been in a position similar to Olivia where, and Olivia, honestly, it seems like she just misunderstood the situation. But I have been in a situation where I downplayed the idea that a woman could be abusing a man. It was during like I was an RA in college, and we did like part of our training was like walking into dorm rooms, into situations and how we would handle it. And one of them, it was a boyfriend and girlfriend, and they were like having an argument, and in my presence, the girl like slapped or shoved the boyfriend. And I was like, all right, everybody, just calm down. And the training staff was like, cut. That's abuse. That's not something that you just like step in and can like mediate. And think about if the genders were swapped, how this would look and what you would have done. And I felt so bad. So I can relate to Olivia feeling like, oh my God, I didn't think about the fact that this could be abuse. Do you know what I mean? So I understand that we can miss that kind of thing. We can miss it, right? But what I wanted to say about Huda here is that, like, girl, if he's showing you all these red flags and showing you he doesn't want to be with you and he's pulling away, like, that's the key to stop pursuing it, right? That's not the cue to double down and try to like threaten him into liking you. And that's where that anxious attachment comes in, right? Where even though she's seeing all these signs, she feels like she has to fight for people to like her. And like that's her homeostasis. That's what she's used to. So here we go. Let's keep going.
it's like, okay, great. That's fine. But I'm not going to yell at you about it. I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to put it in the back of my mind and carry on.
Okay, wait.
That's not what you did, though, right? Like that was literally never what you did. You never just put it in your mind and carried it on. When she says she put it in her mind, she stored it to use later, like she was stewing on it, right? And then things would bubble up. All right, so now they're going to talk about the cuddling situation.
The snuggling moment, though.
Which
So
one?
you wake this man up in the dead of sleep, and
Oh, girl, he was not asleep. This man was not asleep. He purposely rolled over and was just standing there like this, stiff as a board. Like standing.
Okay, if he was like that, why did you... Like, it seems like it was more about winning than it was about, like, protecting or like, respecting boundaries, right? Like, what did she think was going to happen? That she would just wear him down? Like, look, she's still mad about it. She's still mad that he wasn't technically asleep, but he just wanted to go to sleep. Like, all the signals he was giving her was leave me alone. So why wasn't she respecting that?
They're like this, and I'm like, hey, he's not listening. So I'm like,
yeah, that's not funny. It's not funny, Huda, that you were doing that to him.
to his lip, I'm like, brother, I know you're awake. And
he doesn't want to be awake, and he doesn't want to talk to you. Like, what did you think that, like, this is just this is so immature.
just like acting like he's asleep. He just rolled over. Like, he's sitting there acting like he's dead asleep. And I'm like, dude, why the fuck are you ignoring me, bro? Like,
And you're like, if you don't cuddle me, I'm gonna be mad at you tomorrow.
because I was so over it, because I brought it up so many times.
Then y'all weren't supposed to be together. Like, are we hearing this right? If you are in this situation, like, he doesn't want to be with you. You guys are not compatible.
And you just smacked me in the fucking face. I got fucking tape on my nose looking like the fucking Notre Dame or whatever the fuck, like over here.
He didn't smack you in the face. It was like a pillow fight, right?
And you, brother, you're sitting here and you're just like, oh.
You're like, I'm gonna count to 3.
So she wanted reassurance after this pillow fight thing where her nose got hurt, and she wasn't getting what she wanted from him. Which is upsetting, right? Like, especially if you are someone who needs that kind of reassurance to, like, regulate your emotions, which is not, you know, I mean, that's something that she should definitely, like, look into. So she was, like, kind of desperately trying to connect with him, and he was not having it, which is frustrating and it's hard, but it doesn't mean you're allowed to just, like, invade his space and interrupt his sleep. And I will say, especially, like, as a pro athlete or like a big time athlete, they do not fuck with their sleep. Like, they love and need their sleep, right? Like, they have very specific schedules about sleep. So yeah, I totally understand why he was like, please don't, please leave me alone.
I'm trying everything. I tried everything. I got down to, okay, you want me to treat you like a child? Yeah, I'm gonna sit here. Bitch, was that the correct thing to do? No, I should have just left it and just left it alone. But you
True.
keep telling me that you're gonna fix this and fix that and do this and do that. And it's like, you're not doing it. And it's getting to that point where I'm like, brother, this is so irritating to me because it's every single night. You know, when, like,
If it's every single night and he's not doing it, that means he doesn't want to do it, right? Like, if he's not doing it, he doesn't want to do it. And harassing him is not going to change things, right? That's not going to make someone love you or want you more. It's just going to push them away, but they're already going away. It's not like there was anything you could do. Like, you guys were not meant to be together. Okay, so that is just assuming that this was about cuddling, right? That's what Huda had to say. Here is a different take from Chris after that incident. This was on the Vile Files.
I feel like what you guys didn't get to see is the whole argument and why we were arguing. We weren't arguing because I didn't cuddle her. We were arguing because we were told, like, we were only going to get 2 hours of sleep.
Which is crazy. You guys are getting 2 hours of sleep. That on its face is nuts. And irresponsible, I think, for the production to do. And then for Huda to know that this guy might only get 2 hours of sleep, that she might only get 2 hours of sleep, and her main concern is, like, waking him up to cuddle instead of, like, both of their sleep. Extremely unhealthy.
And instead of prioritizing sleep, she wanted to get, active in the bedroom. And I wasn't
active in the bedroom. So he's implying that she wanted to have sex. And so we apparently cut into this argument after he has turned her down for that. And now she is still bothering him, trying to cuddle at least.
I wasn't about that. And I had made that clear to her. I'm like, look, like, if we're not going to be doing PDA on the outside, you can't even give me a kiss. Like, we're not doing shit in the bedroom. Like,
especially if I only get 2 hours of sleep.
Exactly. I'm a big, like, sleeper, and I'm gonna prioritize my sleep.
Yeah, see, this is what I said.
And she crossed it.
So that's what Chris has to say. That we didn't even see the whole argument. That it was worse. That it was worse than we saw. So there's the context that we have. You know, you can believe either person. You can believe both. You know, the truth, as we know, is usually somewhere in the middle. Here is the call-in that apparently the haters are saying was super abusive. Okay, and I will tell you, I think things internally for Olivia were already very heightened. I think she came in ready to protect Huda because she is a survivor of SA and abuse, right? Huda is, and Olivia has talked about her own experiences with that. So I think that plus, you know, Huda has gained like this army around her, right? That are putting out a narrative about her that is making her seem like she needs to be protected and defended. So I think Olivia came in with that, and so her emotions were already high. And I will say that I hardcore relate to this, and I'll talk about a personal experience once we're done with this. But it's not out of the ordinary for me to cry in arguments. Like, that definitely happens. Okay, so here's Ethan calling in to give his opinions about Huda.
Now we can hear you.
He's in the way.
I was gonna say that I don't really get what anyone could possibly like about Huda.
Okay.
Thank you.
So right there, Ethan has come in hot with his opinion about Huda, right? There's nothing redeemable about her. And you hear Olivia say, okay. So Olivia, to me, in my opinion, is already feeling protective. I won't say defensive. I think she's feeling protective of Huda. That Huda needs somebody in the room to defend her because nobody is. And she has like taken it onto herself, right? Yes, Olivia is extremely empathetic. She's extremely empathetic, and so she's feeling for Huda in this moment when an attack has happened, right? And I think a lot of times when we have similar traumas to someone, especially someone in the public eye, we sometimes like project our own feelings onto that situation, and that's why we get so activated and charged by it, right? And so that's, I think, what's happening here. So already Olivia, it feels to me is being protective. So it wasn't, to me, it's already started, right? It's already like an inevitable conclusion that she's going to get upset, and that's okay. It's okay to get upset, right? It's not shameful, and no one has done anything wrong.
This was important enough to call in and interrupt the show flow?
Yes, it's very important, Dan.
Interrupt, Dan.
I don't
Okay, so everybody is in agreement, right? So Olivia, it feels potentially like backed into a corner about it because she feels like she's the only one here to defend this woman who is a victim of SA and abuse, right?
Literally, I'm adding to the conversation.
Stand on business, Ethan.
Why?
You hear Olivia go, why? So she's already in her feelings about this. Again, that's normal and that's fine. Olivia is allowed to defend Huda, right? Like, that is how she feels. She feels passionately about this. So it's before anything, even any conversation about the snuggling or the SA happens, I could already feel a shift in Olivia.
From what I saw.
AB, if you're afraid of subreddits, then
This part, to me, was extremely interesting because this is Hila, I think, voicing her frustration with the fact that AB keeps drawing attention to the fact that he gets attacked for being on the show. To me, this is Hila being like, I'm over it. I'm over you bringing it up and making yourself the center of it and the victim of the whole thing, which I think is very interesting.
Literally, I'm adding to the conversation.
Stand on business, Ethan.
why?
From what I saw.
AB,
First of
if
all-
you're afraid of subreddits, then that's not. We
I
don't care
was
about that here.
No, dude. I'm the anti-Semitic Zionist. Don't you know? Everyone, half the internet calls me anti-Semite yesterday. They're half Zionist. No, I don't care.
Why are we talking about Zionism?
Yeah, and Ethan comes into like, why are we talking about that? Like, AB, like I said last stream, like he just draws a lot of attention to himself about this stuff and then complains about the attention he gets for it.
Because apparently Ethan Huda has a whole army. She has a lot of loyal supporters. So people
You can see, I mean, Olivia's already upset.
are afraid to call her out.
Yeah.
Why?
Because she has a Huda army apparently.
Fuck the army. The Huda army.
I don't,
they all have
Ethan's
bad
not
eyelashes?
here today. You know who's not here
Well,
today?
let me just.
So when I first watched this, I didn't notice, and I thought she was just like goofing around. And she probably is trying to, like, she's trying to like get back to like baseline, but it's definitely not coming across like that. She's clearly already like feeling very protective in this moment.
You know who's
Yeah,
doing
you can
something
see
else? Ethan. Ethan
Hold on,
decided he didn't want to be here for this conversation.
I'm here now. And I have something important
You're not
to
though.
say.
You're not here.
I don't see you. I don't see you.
Huda won. Like, I understand.
She doesn't want to hear from Ethan, and that's valid. Like, I totally get that.
As a single mom, you have the right to go out and.
Olivia being protective of Huda is a bit parasocial, aren't we all? And that's what I'm saying. Like, we tend to project our feelings and our experiences onto people in the public eye. And you watch someone over the course of 70 episodes, and then you watch their interviews and stuff, and you relate to them. And then so when things like this happen, you feel like you need to defend that person, because then it feels like you're defending yourself. Like it gets really, really personal.
And live your life, and I can hear myself. It's fucking me up.
I will say, yeah, she is bantering, but there's like to me, there's like a little bit of an edge to it that I don't see usually. Like, she usually has like a little bit of like a chuckle or something to it. And so for me, like on the second watch, I could see that she was trying to do the bantering thing, but I think she was already starting to feel protective and upset.
And enjoy yourself, right? Like, I'm not going to criticize her for going on the
there's seriousness.
show, but towards the end, she was so desperate to stay on the show and match up with someone that she didn't even have chemistry with, that I'm like, you should be happy that you have a clean exit to go home with your daughter.
I will say I don't care about this. Like, I think Ethan saying this is dumb, and it's like such a pretty common take to have about women, to be like, oh, why aren't you home with your kids, when we wouldn't say that to men. I will say, though, I do think it was kind of sad and messed up that she missed her daughter's last day of school. Like, not just that she was away from her kid, but like that is such a seminal moment, I feel. But also, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, right? And if this is the path that Huda wants to go to provide for her child and to, advance her own career in the public eye, you can't really say no to a trip to Fiji and, something that's going to sort of catapult your career. So again, it's complicated, it's messy. He's allowed to have that opinion, but also it is an opinion that usually people have about mothers, and they don't use that same opinion about fathers.
And you don't need to cling to be on this show. And by the way,
so she's upset here too, and which I understand, because I would have been like, Ethan, shut the fuck up about this.
Be happy that you have a clean exit to go home with your daughter. And you don't need to cling to be on this show.
Yeah, she's like, what?
And by the way, the last match she had, she basically sexually assaulted.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm so sorry that you didn't notice that.
The night with Chris,
when she was like, can you please cuddle me? And he was like, I don't want to. And
it is a terrible setup that he's calling in. Like, I don't know what he was doing on Thursday, why he wasn't there, but it does make it more difficult because they're kind of all talking over each other, and they can't really hear each other or see each other eye to eye and know that they mean well, right? So I think that adds a layer to Olivia's frustration for sure.
Yeah.
And she kept trying to grab him and touch him under the blanket.
In
and he
3,
said no.
2,
she
1.
sexually assaulted him?
I think
So this is where Olivia starts to feel bad that she misread the situation, and that she maybe was now downplaying something that happened to Chris, right? She's very sensitive to this stuff in a beautiful way, and I think she went from being protective of Huda to then feeling like, oh my God, I've done something terrible, which she did not do, right? She didn't do anything wrong. Everyone's okay. No one is wrong.
I mean, maybe using that language is a little bit harsh.
Was she saying I want to have sex with you right now, or was she saying like
cuddle now? 3, 2, 1.
I'm giving you until 3.
I thought that was stupid and crazy.
Okay, so we all agree that what Huda did was wrong. The disagreement here is calling it sexual assault, and literally everybody disagrees with Ethan on this. So it's not like it was Ethan versus Olivia.
Was the opposite gender? If a guy did
no, I agree with you. I don't like it, but I probably wouldn't have said that he sexually assaulted
her. It was the opposite gender, and a guy said, you need to come do physical touching with me now under the blanket, and I'm counting down from 3.
I thought that was crazy, and then it did.
Yeah, so they're both in agreement on that. But I think Ethan thinks that it's being sort of diminished because Huda is a woman and Chris is a man.
Happened, and they didn't further that conversation.
It is a good point.
He was like upset about it.
Well, they were upset about it later, but he has already been very mean to her before that.
He was not mean.
No, gentlemen.
So it's not just Ethan. Like, everybody disagrees with Olivia because Olivia is defending Huda, who a lot of people find indefensible. Like, some of the stuff she did as indefensible, right? Because even if you have a history of trauma in your past, that doesn't give you a blank check to just be abusive to other people, right? Like, at some point we need to grow up and start healing our trauma. So that, I mean, I think that's what's going on here. People are making, I wouldn't say a snap judgment. It's a judgment about Huda based on what we saw over the course of an entire season and with multiple partners and the patterns that she has. And like, she seemed to try for a while to not be like this with Chris, and then it came out. And so I think Olivia is just feeling overwhelmed, right? She's having to defend her position against other people who are very adamantly against this person, Huda, right? And so that alone is enough to make you defensive and feel upset and bring up emotions, especially if you're like a highly sensitive person, which I am, which Olivia, I believe, is too, right? Like, she's very in touch with her emotions. That's enough to do it, right? Just to be like trying to defend against multiple people on live TV is overwhelming. But then add the layer of Huda has been a victim. Olivia has said she's been a victim, right? I don't know to what degree, but she has talked about it, right? So there's that layer too of like projecting your own experiences and how they felt onto this situation, right? So it's a lot. It's a lot for one person, and Olivia is young, and it's hard. It's hard to defend your opinion against a lot of different people, especially when they're coming in super hot. But nothing about this is abusive. Like, they're all just having a conversation, and Olivia happens to be the one in this case who disagrees with them.
Justify.
He was such a gentleman.
He told her to shut up like 5 times. Are you kidding?
Look,
I'm not.
I don't remember Chris telling Huda to shut up, but maybe that did happen.
He was not mean.
During
I
that
thought
baby,
he handled
during that
himself
baby challenge,
so
he kept
good.
telling her to shut up, and she was like, "Stop telling me to shut up."
Oh, I didn't.
Okay,
Yeah,
regardless. Hold on, that's neither here.
Okay, so Olivia is very upset, and that's totally fine. She's allowed to be upset. People have just very strong opinions about Huda, for sure. He did, but not that many times. Okay. Yeah, that's messed up. He should not have done that.
Not relevant to my point.
A reminder, we love Olivia. We love Olivia. Yeah, harassment or pestering for sure.
Hold on, that's not relevant to my point.
I do think
it doesn't matter how mean.
Episode.
I think she was reading chat at this point. Yeah, I have heard from y'all that maybe chat was also upsetting her. Yeah, Olivia's the best. It sounds like chat was being harsh on Olivia as well. Yes, thank you, Lana.
It doesn't matter how mean he was to her. He said she was groping and grabbing and touching him under the blanket when he wanted to go to sleep.
And he was say that she was groping and touching him.
He was like,
so now she seems to really be like, oh shit, did I fuck up? And now I'm not holding space for Chris in this situation, and I'm a terrible person, and I'm defending an abuser. And so she's feeling the emotions of this, right? But still, no one has berated her. No one is being abusive, right? These are just high emotions in a concentrated setting, and human things happen.
That's what I remember. But
he was saying, "I need my sleep," and she was like, not having it.
Right, but did they end up? Did something happen that he was?
No,
this was towards the end, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's just feeling overwhelmed. Who is saying this is abuse? Snarkers. Snarkers are saying this is Ethan abusing Olivia.
The end.
She just asked to cuddle.
Right.
No. That's
Okay, so here's Love on Olivia's side. She just asked to cuddle, and Ethan is rebutting that.
And then she said 3-2, and then they didn't.
She was being so pushy about it.
Which is bad. It is bad, but are we gonna?
McBeak, I don't disagree. I don't think Ethan should have called in necessarily. He should have either been there or just let the girlies have their time, because it did take things off the rails. As you know, Ethan has big, strong opinions. The reason I'm analyzing this, Johnny, is because snarkers are taking it out of context and making it seem like Olivia is being abused at work. So I want to just show exactly what happened.
Say that she is a sexual assaulter?
No, I don't.
I'm asking.
No, Olivia.
Obviously, I don't want to defend someone who.
So now Olivia's worried that she has fucked up and has done something horrible, which again, she hasn't. She hasn't done anything wrong. She's just a very kind and gentle and loving person, and she just wants to do her best, right? She wants to do the best. Yeah, it's not that Ethan shouldn't have called into his own show. It's that the phone call aspect just doesn't always work. It doesn't translate well. Everyone's interrupting each other, and it's hard to have like a real conversation.
Who did that?
I'm with you.
I don't think sexual assault is necessarily the language. I'm trying to think what is.
I think I
the
misunderstood
appropriate language.
that whole thing.
Okay, so now we now have Ela saying sexual assault is not the right language, Ethan, right? So she is pushing back on Ethan, just like Olivia is. And Olivia is like, oh my God, I've fucked up. Like I've misunderstood this, right? And she's reading chat. So there's a lot going on. And all of this is happening when she's in the spotlight on TV. It's a lot.
Like,
She was kind of harassing him.
kind of harassing.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think.
Y'all can't be serious with getting mad at Ethan. I'm not mad at Ethan. I just think the call-in just isn't always effective, you know? It's not always an effective medium on this show. And this was like a really sensitive topic. And I don't know. I wish he'd been in studio, because it's easy to take things the wrong way or misunderstand people when you're not looking them in the eye. That's all.
Harassing Ethan is more appropriate.
Because what I remember, she was touching, but I need to go back and watch. Now,
so Ethan is saying, okay, I might be wrong. Maybe there wasn't touching. Maybe there wasn't touching happening. I need to go back and watch it, right? So again, people are having this discussion. It gets heated, and then people start reevaluating, admitting things, conceding things, right? Like this is a human conversation about a charged topic.
Obviously,
it's under the blanket, so we don't know.
It wasn't sexual from what I recall.
I don't remember anything
prepared
sexual
for this.
No, she just.
Sweet Olivia, I should have prepared for this. Like you did a beautiful PowerPoint presentation. You did nothing wrong, right? And then eventually, I don't know what that sound is. Eventually, I don't want to show more because, Olivia gets upset, and we just want to respect that. Shout out to Nate for very tastefully switching away from her. Shout out to AB for jumping in. But Ethan ends the call kind of abruptly and says like, oh, this is what I think. Huda sucks. She's an abuser. Bye-bye. Or whatever it was. Like the way that he hung up was brief, was abrupt, right? And I think that's what the snark is like using to say. Let me see if I can just get that clip.
I don't think she committed a crime or anything, but she was very pushy with something that I perceived as to be sexually suggestive. And if that was opposite genders, you would all be freaking out right now. Bye-bye. Say bye now. Bye-bye.
So that was him hanging up. I don't think she committed a crime, but if the genders were different, everyone would be y'all would be freaking out. Y'all, because everybody in the room was saying, Ethan, that wasn't sexual abuse, right? It wasn't just Olivia. So I don't understand what exactly was abusive about Ethan, what Ethan said. He was, to me, pretty calm and speaking generally throughout. I mean, he had strong opinions about Huda, but he wasn't just disagreeing with Olivia. He was disagreeing with multiple people at the same time who also disagreed with him, saying that it was some sort of assault. And like I said, it seems like Olivia came in ready to defend Huda because she is someone that people are not happy with. And so I think she knew it was going to be a little bit of an uphill battle for her today as a Huda fan. And there's the layer of her own experiences on top of that, which makes it a little bit more raw than normal. And then, you know, she realizes that maybe she's discounting Chris's experience as a potential victim, as Ethan called it, right? So she needed to step out because she got overwhelmed, she got upset, and we love that for her. We love that she knows her boundaries. She knows when she needs to take a break instead of just sitting there and trying not to be upset. She let herself feel her feelings, and we love that. And we love that she came in ready to be supportive because she's just an angel on earth. She did nothing wrong. She got overwhelmed. She needed to step out. She listened to herself and she advocated for herself instead of sitting on camera. She said, I don't want to do this anymore. And she was allowed to leave and go and do whatever she needed to do. And I'm very proud of her for that. And I've been where she is, right? Like, I've been in a situation where countless situations where I'm defending my point and I get overwhelmed and I get upset and I cry. Like, I've cried in so many arguments. I mean, it literally just happened on a family trip this year. My brother and I were arguing about Ethan versus Hassan, essentially. And my brother was like, oh, have you seen Ethan lately? He looks like he's on drugs. And I was so, like, disappointed that he had fallen victim to this stuff because he had been a fan of H3. And also, we have a history of having very contentious fights about politics and things. And so I was triggered by that. And so I just got really upset and overwhelmed because I was like, I don't even know where to start to correct what he's saying. And it's going to make me seem insane. And I had to, like, leave and go cry. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with crying. So yeah, from where I was watching, it wasn't about Ethan. It was about everyone disagreeing with her. That is a lot. That is a lot to take on. Again, Olivia is young. So having to defend yourself and defend Huda, but feels like you're defending yourself and your own experiences against a group of people who are also not trying to cause harm, right? Everyone means well in this situation, but they've all come in with very strong polarized opinions. Having to do that as a young person is hard. And it's okay to be emotional. And I will say that Huda was a lot on this show. And as somebody who was emotionally and verbally abused by a female partner, watching the way that she criticized and belittled all of her partners was very familiar to me. And so if I were in this situation arguing against Huda's behavior, I probably would have cried because I have that history that I would be pulling from, right? Being a victim of abuse does not mean, though, that you can, and that's the thing. Everyone's saying, like, oh, Huda was a victim herself, and that's horrible. That's horrible what Huda has gone through, right? I mean, I think to me, it was very clear that she had a lot of unhealed stuff going on in the way that she acted in the villa. And again, she's also very young. But being a victim of abuse is not an excuse to abuse or inflict pain on other people, right? Like, at some point you need to deal with your shit, and hopefully that happens before you go on live TV, right? But that doesn't always happen. And like I said, she's still very young. Huda is like learning and growing, has a long way to go, but she'll get there. And that's normal. It's normal in your mid-20s to not have everything figured out emotionally about yourself, right? You might not even have addressed or acknowledged a lot of the stuff that happened to you as a kid, right? What's abnormal is having all of this filmed on TV and then rehashed on the internet over and over and over again. That part is abnormal to like the human psyche. And I mean, the same goes for Olivia being filmed having this human moment, right? Now it's being dissected by people like me. So yeah, I think when it comes to Huda, the fact that she has like this army around her now, it kind of reminds me of stan culture and snarker culture, where people have latched onto her because they see maybe their own experiences in her. Okay, so I can take these off now. They see their own experiences in her, and so they are very quick and enthusiastic about defending her, and because it feels like they're defending themselves and what happened to them.
I think I misunderstood what happened.
Whoa. Why did this start? Sorry guys. Okay, there we go. And this can lead to like absolving Huda of her wrongdoing, because it feels like, well, I didn't do anything wrong, and so Huda didn't do anything wrong. And I'm not saying that that's what Olivia is doing, but I'm saying like this culture that is formed around Huda reminds me of snark culture, because in my opinion, a lot of people who gravitate to these like extreme fandoms have a lot of shit going on that they haven't really dealt with. They want that sense of community. They want to feel powerful and in control of something in their life. So to me, it's not about who's right or wrong on this. I don't think anybody is wrong. And I think it would be helpful if the internet learned that there doesn't always have to be someone who's wrong in a situation. Right? Like, I agree with Ethan and Hila and Lena here, having watched the season, but I also love Olivia, and I value her opinion here, and that she brought a different view to the table, right? It's okay. No one did anything wrong. They just disagreed. And disagreements are something that's normal and human. The last little thing is I just want to show you like the way that Snark is positioning this and talking about it. And this is why I wanted to do this live, because I was like, what the fuck are we even talking about? Ethan Klein has this amazing ability, this amazing ability that even when he calls into his own show for 5 minutes, he completely ruins the vibe, even to the point of making Olivia walk off today's episode. It's not what happened. And what's up with the whole double standard argument at the end there? Well, the double standard argument is that it's possible for women to be abusive, right? And maybe Huda is getting a little bit of a pass because she's a woman. So this is what I said. The world building y'all do is stunning. I'll give you that. Some people are highly sensitive, myself included, and we cry for all kinds of reasons. I have cried countless times while defending my point in an argument, especially if it was something I deeply cared about. Okay? And then this person says, how fucking sexist of you to see a woman talking about abuse from her male boss, or taking abuse from her male boss. So this is saying that Ethan was abusing Olivia. How fucking sexist of you to see a woman taking abuse from her male boss and call their reaction emotional. Take girl out of your display names, fraud. First of all, I didn't say the word emotional at all. And also, I said that she is highly sensitive, just like me. There's nothing wrong with it. I did not imply that there was anything derogatory about having emotions or being emotional. And then also, crying is literally an emotional reaction. Like, the semantic abuse is just crazy. And then I said, like, do you guys not understand the full range of emotions? It's okay if you don't, but it's weird to attribute everything to Ethan being evil. It just dilutes any valid points you have about him. So they're saying that this was her taking abuse from Ethan. I mean, have these people ever had normal human interactions in their life? Genuinely do not understand it. It's not bad having emotions, but I agree that was not professional, and I hope she works on that. She's young, and it's okay to cry. Like, I don't think anyone knew that that's where it was going, and I don't fault her at all for it. But yeah, like that's just crazy to me. And I do think it's interesting that people are saying that what Huda did was not abusive. That Huda was not abusive, but what Ethan did was abusive. Like, if you're going to be hypersensitive to calling things abusive, like, be consistent, or then it's just very clear that you have a narrative, right? I mean, this is just proof that the snarkers and Ethan haters are just using the crew and their very emotional public moments as pawns in this stupid game, instead of showing like genuine compassion. Because again, they're just like, Olivia, you need to quit. You know what I mean? It's not about defending Olivia. It's about exploiting her, exploiting a very human moment that she had, which we've all have, and which we love her for, and using it for this weird narrative. And again, if you really had a solid case about Ethan being a terrible person, you wouldn't have to do this, which is so gross. You wouldn't have to like manufacture this outrage while using someone you pretend to care about. It's the concern trolling all over again. So yeah, like I said at the top of the stream, too long didn't watch. What if no one is wrong? What if nobody's wrong in this situation? Except maybe chat. If chat was being assholes, which I don't have proof of, but if chat are the ones that were being really hard on Olivia and she saw that stuff, then fuck you guys. Because from where I sat, Olivia came in with high emotions, high feelings about this stuff, which is valid. I think she was surprised by the high emotions and high feelings on the other side. And a conflict happened. And it made her upset. And sometimes you don't cry because you're feeling abused. You cry because you're frustrated, or maybe you just feel like you're overwhelmed or in over your head. Like, it doesn't have to be that, you don't have to get beaten down to fucking cry. So are we going to hear more about this today? I hope not. I hope they don't talk about it on the show. I hope it moves on. Olivia is entitled to not speak about it unless she wants it spoken about. And if I were her, like I said earlier, like, I would want to just take a long weekend, and just like unplug, see my friends, and just take a beat. And I think that would be totally okay. I love her so much. Shout out again to Nate for his excellent and compassionate switching. It just goes to show like how important his job is in that moment. And his little baby and his wife are both so adorable. Shout out to AB for jumping in and helping to round out the rest of the show, and Hila and Lena for keeping things on the rails. I think it was a human moment that we saw. It was a human moment. Nobody was wrong. And everyone's going to be okay. No one was abused. No one was evil. A disagreement happened and emotions came out, and that's what happens when people talk to each other, when people bump into and rub up against each other. This is just what happens. GWAM or Guam after party tonight? Probably not. I am not going to be home tonight, and that's another reason I wanted to see you guys and talk about this, because I wasn't going to be on tonight. I will be talking about Alexa versus Kat when the lawsuit is filed. Alexa said she wants to come on to talk about it, so we will definitely talk about it. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't with addressing yesterday. Yeah, so I think that they should just let it go. Yes, and hopefully, and probably obviously, Ethan and Hila and everybody talked to and supported Olivia off camera. because they're a supportive bunch, right? We know that. Crying is literally a physiological response to your amygdala being hijacked by your prefrontal cortex. Whoa. It's moving energy through your body
mail.
and how the brain and body self-regulates. Yes, crying is great.
Gave $5. Kate,
can we raid the H3 waiting room after your stream? It goes live in 9 minutes. Let me see if I can do it now that the stream is live. I did learn how to do it. Shit. I think I can. Let me edit. 1 second. It's Captain Quasar. Yeah? Can I do it from here? Oh my god, there's so many options. Just one of them should be here. Not a tag. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Where the fuck is it? Oh, redirect. Here we go. Hey! All right, y'all. Captain Quasar. So make sure you go check out. Where the fuck is it? What the fuck? I don't know why it's not showing up, but yes, we can definitely raid them. I'm just trying to find it. And now it's getting hot in here. Just as I'm ending, so that's good. Okay, here we go. Is this the one? Yes, okay. Captain Quasar. Why the fuck was I not able to find it? Captain Quasar. There it is. Is it not going to let me? Redirect privileges needed. Oh, it's not letting me do it, but okay. Let me link to it in the chat here then. For some reason, that's not working. All right, everybody, go on over to Captain Quasar because I am ending now. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. Yeah, I'm going to be away most of the weekend, but I might see you on Sunday, okay? Have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody. Oh, shit, what should I do? Because I usually have it. Oh, end screen?